Howdy campers, and welcome to a brand new RuneScape Ramble series. I know there aren't enough of these out there on the internet already, so I figured once a week I would just sit down and yap your ear off for 20 or 30 minutes. I've always kind of wanted to do a weekly ramble or podcast like this, but I didn't really want to put it on the main channel, so now that I got the second channel, got no excuse not to. And I figured now would be a good time since, we're doing this crazy goal of stacking and opening 26,000 hard clues this year. Figured it'd be a good way for me to update you on how the mental's doing week to week. Speaking of the 26k hards goal, I had tossed that idea out to some people quite a while ago, and they all reacted as you would probably expect, flabbergasted and like, oh, no, you're not. But then when I posted the video the other day, I was surprised at just how many people were like, hell yeah, man, go for it, which I appreciate it. I mean, it's a pretty dumb goal, don't get me wrong, but I'm really excited to do it. I really want to grind out 26k hards. I think it's an insane goal that would actually be a lot of fun. Plus, I feel like these types of like KC goals really help keep me sane when I'm probably going to go like 5,000 hards at some point this year without a single collection log slot. Hell, I might even go like 10k without a collection log slot, depending on how dupe Third Age goes. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who left a nice comment on that video. It was way more positive and supportive than I expected it to be, which I really appreciate. But so this was the first week that I had to properly stack 500 clues during the week. I think last week for the opening, I started with like 100 on like Wednesday or something like that. So it was basically still 500 hards in a week. But this was the first proper week where I had to finish the masters from the opening before and then stack another 500 hards. And it went pretty well. For the most part, I was pacing really good. And then randomly, one of my friends from college messaged me for the first time in like 6 months, being like, hey, do you want to play RuneScape on our accounts again? Because like 2 years ago, we started up our own separate accounts and we're just playing through all of the quests. And he just randomly messaged me the other day being like, hey, do you want to keep playing those? I'm like, well, sure, I guess. So that kind of sidetracked me a little bit. Then also there was the first round of the Super Bowl playoffs, so I went to watch the Packers get trounced by the Bears in a devastating upset. And not upset, devastating comeback choke. I don't know how the Packers managed to do it, but they seem to find a way consistently. But that's all to say, it felt pretty good stacking the 500 hards this week. It wasn't too draining, and I did plenty of other stuff too. We did necks all week on stream, which was pretty fun. We finally started seeing some drops, which was good, which means also I've actually got money now, which is crazy. My bank has been like just languishing at like 10.5 bill for the last like year and a half. And now all of a sudden it's over 11. So I don't know what happened, but apparently your boy's got money now. Which is good because imps are apparently going back up in price. Magpies are at a 60k loss right now, which is kind of tragic, though natures are still sitting at over 30k profit per clue. But not gonna lie, I've done like 1,000 hards from magpies now, and I don't know if I can go back to natures. I always told people you should just do natures. They're just worth it, especially now that there's like a 100k gap between the two. I did some math the other day, and I'm pretty sure if there's a 100k gap between profit between hards and magpies, that comes out to about 6 mil GP per hour. So it's like if you think it's worth 6 mil GP per hour to be opening your hard clues twice as fast, then go for it. But if you want to save 6 mil GP per hour, just do natures. And I've still got a stack of like 250k natures, but man, is it nice opening them magpies. I gotta admit, I'll eventually open all those natures, but I don't know if I can go back to just purely opening natures. It was so nice to be able to open magpies for so long. I was just planning on calling this like RuneScape Ramble or something like that, but I think I might have to call it like Impling update or something like that, because I'm gonna talk about the price of Implings every single week, and we're gonna talk about doing clues from Implings. So maybe that's a more on brand name. So I did want to give a breakdown of what it's going to look like for content this year. The plan is on Mondays, I'm going to be releasing a ramble on this channel here. On every other Tuesday, I'm going to be releasing a main video on the main channel. Then on Wednesday or Thursday, I'll be uploading the VOD from the most recent week's clue opening to this channel as well. Though I've also been considering trying out dual streaming and then streaming to the second channel, because I really don't want to stream to the main channel on YouTube. I just feel like it's going to clutter up people's sub boxes and they don't want to see that. But either way, if I did do dual streaming like that, I would only stream on YouTube for the Twitch openings. But I kind of figure it's a bit of a catch-22, because it's like if you are on the second channel, you probably know about and watch the Twitch stream. But, maybe that's an assumption. But I would think that at least if you were on the second channel, you would at least know of the Twitch channel and be, keeping an eye on it for clue openings and stuff, or in the Discord, because I'll ping people for clue openings and stuff like that too. But that's most of what I wanted to talk to you guys about for like updates for how content's going to be going this year. On the other side of things, the Revs grind and Next grind, which is most of what I've been doing outside of just doing clues. Next has been pretty fun, honestly. It was a bit of a drag at the beginning because we went super dry at the start, but it's been picking up and it's been a lot of fun. I like the guys that we grind with. We're able to do it consistently. We're able to do it for several hours without having to take like big breaks in between. It's been going quite good, actually. I've been really enjoying it. Revs, on the other hand, I have gotten into a flow with, but man, is it a pain in the ass sometimes. And I'm so tired of doing reps. I'm so tired of it. So this next week, we are not going to be doing much next because some people are busy. So I am probably going to be heading back to sailing, trying to clean up a couple logs there. The price of marlins right now is actually insane. I think you can make like 5 or 6 mil per hour, not including angler's paint, just fishing marlins, which is kind of crazy. So, I was just saying how I've actually got a lot of money now, but I mean, could I always use more for more hard clues? You know what I mean? One thing I did want to ask from you guys is that I did want some content suggestions, because I am going to be doing so many clues this year. And I mean, they don't take that much focus, right? So I've been trying to watch kind of a backlog of all of my anime and shows that I've been putting off watching for the longest time. And now that, I have to do like 25 hours of clues every week, I've actually got some extra time to watch some of this content. So the other day I watched Death Note. Honestly, really damn good. And now I'm working my way through Assassination Classroom and One Punch Man, which are both fine. One Punch Man, I really liked the first season, but second season I'm more so on. Assassination Classroom is a fun concept, but I got pretty bored of it after like the first 5 episodes, not gonna lie. But then other stuff on my list is I need to watch Frieren. I finally need to finish Samurai Champloo, watch Space Dandy, maybe Full Metal Alchemist. I've been hearing people say Bleach is good, and I just checked the other day. Apparently, it's like hundreds of episodes long. So I mean, maybe that could just keep me entertained for a couple months in there. And other than animes, I've maybe got some other TV shows I want to watch. I've been really considering going back and watching all of The Walking Dead, because I loved that show growing up, and it wrapped up like a year ago or something like that, after running for what, like over a decade. So it would be kind of cool to go back and watch that show all the way from front to back, I feel like. I don't really watch like RuneScape content, which, might sound kind of weird to you that I play so much RuneScape basically as though it were my full-time job and I don't watch any RuneScape content. But it's kind of like I play so much of it that I don't really feel like watching other people play it. Occasionally, I'll hop into somebody's stream and chat with them, but that's more just because I want to chat with the person, not not watch them play RuneScape. It's like if I wanted RuneScape, I would just play RuneScape, right? I probably do need to find like a new podcast. About a year ago, I finally caught up with the podcast I had been listening to called Hey Riddle Riddle. They only had around 400 episodes in the backlog, so I finally caught up. And then I'm like, well, now what? I guess I'll just start re-listening to old episodes. I guess that'll work. They've got a Patreon too that also has like probably another 500 hours worth of content on it. So maybe I'll finally buckle and toss them some money. I mean, I've only consumed maybe 1,000 hours of their content. So one, I'm just not really sure if I like it. And two, I just, I don't want to give them any money. I feel like they haven't earned my $5 if they've only given me hundreds of hours of free content. So, I'm a little on the fence on that one. I don't think I've ever actually subscribed to a Patreon before now that I think about it. I don't think I ever actually have. But the closest thing I've done is sub to people on Twitch, but I don't even do any of that now. I guess maybe I need to start practicing what I preach more. If I want people to sub to me on Twitch, I got to make sure I'm tossing Jack a couple dollars, X-Style a couple dollars here and there too. Or I could probably just mention that I'm in an ad after a raid and then someone will gift me a sub. That usually works too. It's a 50-50, but a lot of times that still works too. On a more personal note, my wife Andrea is buckling down to study for her actuarial exam. She is a math teacher, but she doesn't want to do teaching anymore because schools are an absolute mess. So she's working on studying for her actuarial exam. She took the exam once, didn't pass, and is now taking it a second time. It's going to be in 2 weekends from now. So that's going to be very exciting. So we're kind of buckling down to make sure that she's ready for that one. I guess it's not really a ramble slash podcast if I don't give you a good old like personal anecdote or something like that. So the other day, it was the day before New Year's. Me and a couple friends, we went out to catch a Blackhawks game, which is professional hockey. And we went out to the game. It was a good game. The Blackhawks lost in not just overtime, but during the shootout. So it went to overtime. It was still tied after overtime. They went to the shootout and then lost in the shootout. It was tragic, but it was a pretty dang good game, not gonna lie. After the game, we went to a local hockey rink slash bar where they have like amateur hockey that just goes on all night until midnight, I believe. And then the bar's open until like 2 or 3 a.m. So me and my friends, we were hanging out there. I was pretty drunk pretty quick, and I was chatting with a random person that was sitting there. And so I remember bits and pieces of this, but my friend was recounting the story of it to me. I was chatting with her, and she asked me, do you play on one of the hockey teams? And I do remember this part, but what I don't remember is apparently I told her yes. And she's like, I guess she's looking at this tall, scrawny, pasty guy. And he's like, that's a hockey player right there. That's a hockey player right there. And apparently, I wouldn't go so far as to say I convinced her that I was a goalie on one of these teams because there's no way she bought it. There's just like a 0% chance that she was buying anything that I was saying to her. But that's about the one personal anecdote I've got for this week. It was still less crazy than the last time we went to Johnny's Ice House, where one of the friends that we brought along to the Blackhawks game, he randomly picked up a girl that was sitting next to us at the hockey game, took her to Johnny's Ice House with us, and then they just made out in the bleachers while the rest of us drank at the bar. It was one of the craziest things ever because then like all of the regulars and the people that played hockey that night, they're like, who the fuck are these guys? They just bring some random people around and just start making out in our bleachers after our games. What is this? Like a high school football game or something like that? Making out in the bleachers at halftime? Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys today. Let me know if you have any suggestions for content that I should watch while doing Clue Scrolls because your boy's gonna need a lot of it. I mean, I think, wait 1 sec, let me do some quick maths. At 22 hards per hour, that's gonna be 1,181 hours for stacking all 26,000 hard clues. That's not including the amount of time that it takes for me to solve the masters, by the way. And that's also assuming 22 hards per hour, which doesn't quite account for opening the jars, which I mean, it's not a ton of time, but like it probably is still like 100 hours worth of me spam opening Impling jars. So that adds up too. But if you're watching this video right now, I am live on Twitch with another 500 hard clue opening. So I hope you guys can swing on by. Otherwise, if you can't, the VOD will be uploaded here in just a couple days. So take care. And until next time, happy camping.